Avoiding these 6 money mistakes in your 20s and 30s can ensure that you will be financially successful. So I'm traveling in Texas today to do my year-end journal review, which explains the hotel room behind me. And I was thinking about financial freedom. Have you ever wished that you could go back in time and change a money mistake that you made? I know I sure have.
Where did that money go?
If you're looking for intentional consistency in your life, we can't avoid the topic of money. So let's get started. Here are the 6 things to avoid. Number 1 is debt. Spending more than you earn. And those good old credit cards. They can be good for rewards if you pay it off every month. It can also help you build credit at an early age, but credit cards can also be your worst nightmare, especially if they're all maxed out and all you can do every month is just pay the monthly minimum. It's best to just pay cash. If you don't have the cash, don't buy it. It's that simple. It's a fact that if you pay cash, you will buy less. And if you can't pay cash, don't buy it. The hardest thing about this is patience, waiting for the thing that you want. Something to keep in mind though around debt is Proverbs 22:7 says the borrower is slave to the lender. I've found this to be true. It feels like all you're doing is working to pay someone else instead of yourself. Number 2 is spending more as you make more. Needs versus wants. I talked about this a little bit in the journal video where there's that one page in the notebook where you have your needs and your wants. The problem is sometimes we get them confused and we think a want is a need. I was shopping in Best Buy the other day and I was just walking around looking at stuff, not there to buy anything, just kind of killing time one day. And I was looking around at everyone and I realized, all the people in Best Buy, these aren't rich people. The rich people aren't in here buying this crap. These are a bunch of like poor and middle class people that are probably spending money they don't have on a credit card to get that big old TV or a new MacBook or whatever the case is. Sometimes when you get a bonus or you get a raise, you automatically think, well, I want to go buy something new.
I've got money.
Our automatic thought isn't, ooh, I can save this, I can invest this. The best way to avoid this is by creating a simple budget. Take a piece of paper, you have money coming in, money going out, and then you can see what's left over to save and invest.
Invest it in the bank.
I recently read the book Atomic Habits. The link is below. It was a great book, and he talked about that true happiness is the absence of desire. Number 3. Not building a savings or an emergency account. When I was younger, I had a mentor that talked about being your own bank, having money set aside in a savings account so that if something does happen, you just use your emergency account and you're not relying on credit cards and paying over 20% interest. An easy rule of thumb to get started with an emergency account is just try and get to $1,000 in a savings. Number 4. Not starting a business. Do you ever have a great idea but never seem to get around to starting a business around it? It's because of fear. And fear stands for false evidence appearing real. When I wanted to start a business, I had a lot of great ideas, but fear kept me from it because I'm one of those personalities that I need to know how every little thing works before I get started. And that's not the case. I learned that with a business, you learn as you go. The important thing is to take action and to just get started. You can always hire a CPA for the tax stuff, and you can always find a mentor to ask questions to as well. There's tons of resources and books, YouTube, Google.
Better Google it.
There's always a way to find an answer. The important thing is to just get started. You may have $1 million business idea. Why not get started on it? Number 5, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Jim Rohn has a quote that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I had great mentors when I was younger, but I fell into that trap just like so many do. You're in your 20s, you think you know everything, and you make mistakes because you didn't take advice. The important thing about the 5 people you surround yourself with is, can you find like-minded people that have goals that will be good accountability partners for you? If you spend a lot of time with people that don't have goals, don't have aspirations, and aren't looking to be successful, then that's probably the way that we will end up. But if we surround ourselves with people that will push us, motivate us, and encourage us, we will have better success. Find people that you look up to, whether it be at work or at church or wherever. Find a mentor. Take them to lunch, grab a coffee, or if they're online, you can do a Zoom meeting with them. Think about the 5 people that you do spend the most time with. Are they a good positive influence on your life or a negative influence on your life? Number 6, knowing about compound interest and not investing more. Your money makes money with compound interest. Have you ever heard of the rule of 72? Basically what you do is you divide 72 by a rate of interest and it tells you how many years it would take to double your money. I love listening to Myron Golden, and he talks about the difference between poor and middle class and the rich is when the poor and middle class look at money, they see money as something to pay bills with. But when the rich people see money, they say, how can I turn this money into more money? With the magic of compound interest, the earlier you can start, the better. I kick myself because I learned about this when I was 17 or 18, but I didn't start investing until later in life. Another big mistake that you may face one day if you're switching jobs is cashing out a 401k. This is also a huge mistake because you're losing the progress that you've made and the ability to keep that compound interest going towards retirement. Dave Ramsey said something that has been burned into my brain. It is live like no one else today to live like no one else tomorrow. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. I've heard it said that true wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes and not repeating them yourself. Think back to times you made decisions and then realized, oh, they were right. Now I know. What if right now you decided to make these simple changes? In 20 years, what will you wish you would have started doing today? If you don't make a change, tomorrow will look like today. If you want to learn more about the topic of entrepreneurship, money, or successful habits, check out the links below for these books. These 4 books have shifted my mind around money, and I think that you might enjoy them too. Successful people read a book a month. Maybe this would be a good habit for you to start in the new year. If you want to learn more about intentional consistency, check out this video right here that I made about keeping a journal notebook to set yourself up for success.